And I'm so thrilled to be sharing with you guys the new work that we've been working on all summer at Evolve. And just so you know, for those of you who do not know about my company, Evolve, hold on one moment. I just want to get myself up here. There we go. Let's see if that clicks over. Beautiful. There it is. Okay, great. So for those of you who have been following Evolve, you know what we're up to. And for those of you who don't know about my company, Evolve, we are a coaching, training, and strategy company focused on the workplace, specifically with diversity, equity, inclusion, culture, and leadership. And we create all of this through the lens of transformation, and which is really exciting, and why this year was just a huge game changer and actually allowed us to reimagine the work that we create in the workplace. So with companies, with leaders, with teams, and we've been calling it the Future of DEI. And I just love that title because earlier this year, I worked on a project with Tina Paulus-Krauss around the future of work, where we based that work off of vision and really the beginning step of transformation, which was powerful. And really, this is a big extension of that work and really marries all the things that we believe in at Evolve, and all of the results and outcomes that we create for the companies that we work with. And so over the past few months, as you know, 2020 has been quite the disruption and quite the anomaly of, for those of you who are in the space of personal development or personal growth, you know that, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And 2020 really gave us a little something in all the categories for us to take a look at what's working, what's not working, what might be missing, and what's possible now. Because what's actually the biggest gift is that none of this is happening to us, it's happening for us. So 2020 arrived just in a disruptive way for us to see what's been working. And let's go ahead and amplify that. And what hasn't been working. And let's go ahead and look at that. Let's shift that. Let's look at ways to transform that. And my favorite, what might be missing? Because sometimes when we think something's not working, we're like, we want to quit or give up or think like, we abandon things. And I don't know about you, but in my company, when I invest, I'm not quick to abandon. I want to adjust. I want to pivot. I want to shift. And that's what we help companies create, are those shifts and those pivots and those amplifications within their people experience, their culture, their DEI initiatives, and with leadership. And with leadership, it's not your title, and it's not anyone's title in the company or the firm. It's about who you are being and how you are showing up. So with that, the Future of DEI, we are actually launching it on Thursday. So that's 2 days from now. And we're actually talking to a couple of companies right now who were actually part of the design of this. They didn't actually design with us, but as we started learning about who they are and what they were looking to cause and create with their people, their relationships, their workplace relationships, and their relationships with their clients, their prospects, and their marketplace. We call their marketplace the industry or kind of the space you play in. That we started to compile all of the insight, the questions, and the answers. We got a lot of answers as well into this work, which again, we're so excited. We're going to be launching it this Thursday and Friday through a 1-hour webinar. Anybody can sign up. You can, if you're on Instagram, you can go to my profile and click on the link in my profile. If you're on Facebook, in this video, in this live right here, the sign up is there. It's complimentary. And it's complimentary because we want all companies to experience this next level. And the cool thing is if you already have a DEI strategy in play, this has the potential to amplify it. Not only amplifying the results and outcomes, which we all know, which I'll share in a moment what those results and outcomes are, but also to amplify your ROI. So I know some companies, they don't have big budgets to spend on DEI, on culture, on leadership development. And so every dollar, every minute, every hour counts. So this work that we have created and reimagined is an amplification and a way to accelerate what you've either already got going or to accelerate where you are in the process to move you to the next step with leveraging your ROI and the results that you can create with this type of work. So the reason we leaned in this way, and you heard me saying that a lot this year, leaning in, it's one of my favorites. And the reason we leaned in this way is because we saw, through our experience and through other companies that we spoke with that are in this space, we saw that a lot of companies were checking off the box when it comes to DEI and just checking off the box when it comes to leadership development and culture. And, one of the things we saw with checking off the box is just like amenities and perks. And, we knew there's so much research out there that shows you that amenity and perks are nice, but they don't amplify and create a thriving culture. It's not really at the core what your people want. It's the culture. Culture is the number one driver for women and millennials who are out there looking for a job or who are in their job wanting a better experience where they are, or they're actively looking for another job. We all know this, right? People are, even when they have a job, they're actively looking for something else. Maybe not as intensely as you would think, but there's always something going on with keeping their eye open for the opportunity. And that's why the employee engagement rates are so low in this company. Over the past 12 years, the high has been about 34%. 34%, you guys. That means the high, 34%. So that means about over 65% of people are not engaged in their work. Yet they're spending 8 hours a day. They're getting compensated for 8 hours a day. And the outcomes a company is looking to create are based off those 8 hours a day, give or take, what industry you're in. So we imagine, what if we upped that number to 44%? Like, what would be possible for your company if your engagement came up to 44%? And just think about this year that we've been in collectively, in and out of the workplace, super distracted. Things are pulling us in all different directions with all of the experiences that have come our way this year. So I wouldn't be surprised, and we get our numbers from Gallup, so I wouldn't be surprised if that number is even below 30% this year, given everything that we're going on, that we've been experiencing this year. So if you could experience a 10% uptick in engagement through your DEI culture and leadership initiatives, why not? What might that cause and create for your company? What kind of return might that cause and create? And if you have no idea what's holding you back from even thinking about employee engagement and what that correlation is to your performance, to your revenue, to your profit, have you sat and thought about these things, no matter what size your company is? Because I can tell you, one of the reasons I was not live with you guys last week, I could not focus, I was distracted, I was stressed out, and I was like super engaged in the results of the election, like super engaged. I find that stuff fascinating, always have. I've been following David Gergen on Twitter for over a decade. I find it fascinating. And so as we started to really look at who we are as coaches, facilitators, and we are speakers as well. We get booked for speaking engagements. We also took a look at who our clients are, because it's always asked, like, what kind of companies do you work with? And there was no correlation across the board until we looked a little bit further. And they're all companies that care about their people experience and their culture, because there's various industries, various size. I mean, the biggest company we work with is a Fortune 200 company. So it wasn't a set in stone, this is the industry we focus on and these are the size of the companies we focus on. And there was never a geography aspect involved as well. So again, that main component is that it's companies that care about their people experience and care about their culture, which those two lead to leadership, especially when you work with a company like Evolve, because that's the area that we're focusing on the whole time. So even through the lens of DEI, we're constantly focused on the soft skill, which we don't say soft skill anymore at Evolve. We call them people and relationship skills, but one of the top ones we work with is leadership. It's not a title. It's a skill. It's how you're being in the moment and what you want to cause and create moving forward. It could be everyone in your organization can be a leader and can fully step into their leadership potential. And when you have an organization like that, when your people are all standing as leaders and standing in leadership characteristics, they're up-leveling all their leadership skills, wait and see what happens. And I'll let you know, you don't even have to wait. Communication gets clear. It gets concise, it gets more effective. Collaboration goes up. Everybody wants to work with everyone. We're all saying yes and knowing when to say no and not being offended or, pouty about the no. And then also we become united and aligned as to what we're up to as individuals and collectively on teams and as an organization, and what our message is in our marketplace. Like, who are we? And is our vision and our mission that we say we are, does it also reflect who we are? Are we united and aligned on that? So I am so thrilled to present the Future of DEI this Thursday. It's the same webinar. We're just doing it twice just in case schedules don't permit. And we do work with companies on the West Coast as well. So the first one is going to be this Thursday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, PM. And then the second one will be on Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, PM. And if you cannot attend, if you're unable to attend either of those webinars live, book your spot and we'll send you a recap of the webinar. So, and we'll send you that once the webinars are over on Friday, just so we know if you made it or not. And we have some really cool things that we're going to be talking about. And really, we packed in so much in 1 hour. I mean, when we were really looking at it, we were like, ooh, this could be an all-day event. And it might be an all-day event because we have some other companies that we have worked with in the past that we want to continue collaborating with and expanding this experience of the future of DEI. And really, in a nutshell, it's not about a training. This has nothing to do with the training, and it's not about a hiring strategy. And that's where it gets really good. Because if you feel like, oh, we've done the training, we've done the hiring, we got all that, great. Join us on Thursday or Friday, and now let's amplify that. Let's amplify your investment, let's amplify your strategy, and let's amplify the results, okay? I can't wait. Because, when we looked at the way DEI trainings are set up, and we talked about this, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, the way DEI trainings are set up is they're incomplete, and to be honest, they're ineffective. And a lot of them, they actually exacerbate issues that have to do with diversity and inclusion. Because, and we'll talk about, I almost filled you in a little bit, but I'm gonna keep you hanging. But come to Thursday and Friday, we're letting it all loose. But they don't go all the way. It's incomplete. And we're gonna talk to you about the number one reason why most DEI trainings are incomplete. And it's so freaking simple. So freaking simple. In fact, the Dialogue Project, if you guys haven't seen this research by the Dialogue Project, check it out. The two top universal experiences and shifts are one of ours as well. And we were just so excited to find, like-minded thing. We were just like, wow, this is amazing. Cannot wait. And so the other thing we're going to cover in this webinar is really the 4 steps that create a bigger return on your DEI, culture, and leadership investments. And I don't know about you, but we cannot afford to not get the most out of our investments, the most out of our budget. And so we're going to show you the 4 steps that will create a bigger return on your DEI, culture, and leadership initiatives. And then we're going to introduce you to our 3-phase framework that bridges the gap that most DEI trainings and culture upgrades, whatever you're calling it, miss. And this three phase framework is so freaking simple, and we literally were like, oh my God, you would have thought we discovered like gold or something, because we were like, it's so simple. Yet it's not. It's totally re-engineered from the way that most companies, most DEI companies or strategists think about the work. Because again, it's not about the training, and it's not about your hiring strategy. And then we're going to share, and this is my favorite part. We're going to share the 5 biggest things people struggle with in the workplace that cause breakdowns in diversity, in equity, in inclusion, in communication, collaboration, engagement, and performance. And I guarantee you, everyone in your company is experiencing at least one of these struggles. And we're going to share simple tweaks to overcome these struggles. So we're sharing this all with you, again, so you can leverage your investment and leverage your outcomes, and really to empower your people to embody your DEI culture and leadership vision. Because it's one thing to create it and put it out there and have a meeting about it, but are your people embodying it? Are they unified around it? Are they aligned with it? And the other part, the other reason why we want to share this with you is because we also want you to strengthen your relationships with your clients, your customers, your prospects, and your potential hires. Like, these things matter so much now. Values, ethics, vision, like what are we taking a stand for? All of that matters right now. And really, when your DEI strategy is amplified, when your culture transformation is occurring, and it occurs when people embody it, they embrace it, they're being it, you strengthen the relationships with those out there that you look to do business with, clients, customers, and for a lot of companies, new hires, prospects. And the work also creates clarity. I mean, who doesn't want clarity right now with their people experience and with their culture? I mean, just in this webinar alone, we're going to share a lot around clarity with the people experience and with culture. And it also creates certainty, which again, clarity and certainty, we could all use a big handful of that this year. And then unity and alignment amongst your people in the marketplace, which is exactly where you want to be headed as a team, especially if you're looking to lean out or you want to amplify agility. You get to, if you're not unified as a company and there's no alignment, agility is not there. There's no agility. There's going to be constant breakdowns, specifically in collaboration and communication. And then really, this is one of the big ones, is that, by standing in this place with this work, being in the future of DEI, you are able to move beyond checking off the box to a place of creating outcomes that people feel and experience. There's a big difference between I went to that training or I completed that training than I'm starting to notice some things. I'm really starting to really think about this and consider this and get curious about it and ask for support or reach out and give support in these spaces. So I can't wait. I'm so wanting to share so much more with you guys, but that time is coming. On the first webinar, The Future of DEI, is happening this Thursday evening on the East Coast at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the same webinar, which will be live, will be happening this Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Book your spot. Instagram, you could book your spot through my profile. If you're watching live on Facebook, it's right here in this post. And even again, if you're unable to attend either of the live webinars, book your spot. We'll send you a recap. And if you're like me and the clients we're already working with, you don't even need to wait. Call us, contact us, DM me, whatever the kids are saying, and we can start the process now. So thank you guys so much. You're going to be hearing a lot more about the future of DEI, and really this is an amplification of what you may already have in place, or an amplification for you to move forward into this space. So have an awesome rest of your Tuesday, guys, and I'll see you soon.